Welcome back, everyone. It is Sunday, March 2nd in the NBA, and my best plays are on the way. We got 4 picks incoming, and we have a couple in the earliest game of the day, which is that Celtics and Nuggets game, which tips off at 1 p.m. Eastern time. But either way, if you are new, my name is Austin. Let's recap how we did yesterday. We cannot catch a break. Let's talk about it. 1-3. We did cash our best bet of the day, which was DeMar DeRozan's over in PRAs, a 1.5 unit play. Our other losers, let's talk about it. Paul George over 17.5 points. How many do you think he ended with? 17. Damian Lillard over 6.5 assists. How many think he ended with? 6. Nick Smith Jr. under 6.5 hour plus rebounds plus assists. Technically, he ended with 8, but he ended the game with 7 on the hook as well. They ended up giving him an extra one after the game for fun. We cannot catch a break, and I don't know what to do, but that has prompted me to wear this shirt, and maybe it's a lucky shirt because it is basically how I feel. I'm dead inside. That is how I feel. But man, I feel really good about these plays, especially the last 3 days. I know the luck's eventually going to turn our way. It always does. And hopefully that starts today with our 4 picks. So again, thanks for tuning in on a Sunday. Hopefully you guys have a great weekend. We're going to dive into our favorite play of the day. Like I said, this one starts early, and it is the big man, Nikola Jokic, over 26.5 points, minus 125 on DraftKings, a 1.5 unit play. My best bet of the day. If you're looking for one to tail, this is the one. Now, that is our best bet of the day. Our 1.5 unit plays have actually been hitting. I think we've hit, 2 in a row. Hopefully, Jokic can deliver another winner for us. As I said, this game starts at 1, right? Starts at 1 p.m. So, again, make sure you lock it in early because this, and maybe if you're watching this after this one's already gone down, hey, hopefully Nikola Jokic is making me look smart, which I haven't looked smart over the last few days. Now, Nikola Jokic obviously has had a very good season. Now, normally you can see him getting the triple doubles and stuff like that. In terms of the matchup here, I think this is a matchup he has to score the basketball. And you can touch on, and we'll touch on a bunch of stats from PropsMadness. Reminder, you use code COS, you get 25% off your first purchase. Now, we think about the Celtics defense. What are they really good at doing? And even if they are down some guys like Kristaps or Drew Holiday, their MO on defense, their scheme, we're going to limit the spot up shooters. We see that, and we'll show that in a little bit. They are currently 5th best defense in spot up shooting. They don't give up a lot of catch and shoot threes. Now, that's kind of where Jokic is dishing it out to guys on the 3-point line or guys that are cutting to the basket. I don't see those guys getting open, and instead, you should see Jokic have to score the basketball, and that's what he's done plenty of times against this team. Now, we look at his last 6 games against them. I don't really want to go any further because if we're going into 2021, that's already 3 years removed. Look at the last 6 games. Sorry, you can say Austin, 23 points. I get it. Did shoot 20 times, just shot below 50%. 23 points here. Again, another bad shooting game. Shoots 23 times, shoots 35%. Then 29 on 20 field goal attempts. 30, only shot 13 times here, though, so it was an efficient game, which we know he's capable of. 34 and 32 points, playing big-time minutes. These ones, he wasn't even getting his normal minutes. Again, now that they're on the road facing the Celtics, you should expect that volume to be pretty good. 19.5 field goal attempts per game, 19 plus shots in 5 of these 6 games. Now, if you look further into Jokic's numbers, like I said, you might be saying, Austin, these aren't great matchup for him scoring the basketball. I'm not too worried about that. Jokic can get his points in a plethora of different ways. Now, on the season, the line is at, you see some books at 26.5, some at 27.5. I don't really think it makes a huge difference. Take whichever one is available for you. But again, we'll just talk about 26.5 here. You see, obviously, over in 17 of 30. Not bad. But you really want to factor in when Jamal Murray plays, Michael Porter Jr. plays, Christian Brown. I expect all these 5 guys to be active. Aaron Gordon did not play last game. I think he suits up tonight. So in those games, he's over in 14 to 26. Not bad. But we know there's a lot of games in here where Jokic is just like, all right, you're going to leave everyone else open. I'm just going to dish it to those guys. This shouldn't be one of those games. So with the whole lineup healthy, and when you see Jokic shoot the ball, 15 shots, he's over in nearly every single game. I mean, a couple misses with 26, 25, and then this bad game against the Knicks. We knew what happened in that one. But again, the volume's been great in these games, averaging over 30 points per game. I don't even think 15 is a high number to ask for. I mean, even in games he doesn't shoot, he can get pretty close to that. I think we could realistically see 18 or more shots, which he's over in 10 of 11. Chance for 20 plus field goal attempts, over an 8 of 8 with the full healthy lineup. I think there's just a lot of opportunity. I mean, I just pulled up his numbers against him. He's shooting, 19, 20 times consistently against them. They're going to slow down the spot up shooters, and you're going to force Jokic to beat you. So again, I really think this is a Celtics team. We know they shoot 7 million threes a game. They're going to live with Jokic shooting 2s while they're shooting 3s on the other side. That's just quick math. So again, I really like Jokic. I think he can absolutely use and abuse Al Horford or Luke Cornett, whoever they want to put on him. I think he destroys them today. Give me his over in points. I hope they trail, not by too many points, but just trail by a little bit. You should see Jokic be even more aggressive. I think he could easily have a 20-plus point half in this game. I'll take his over. Should get a lot of minutes. Please be close. That's all we ask for 1.5 unit play on the Joker, the MVP. My next play is actually sticking in the same game. We have 4 plays today. 2 overs, 2 unders, 2 in this first game, Celtics Nuggets, and it's going to be an under. And it's a guy that I faded in the last time they played. It's Michael Porter Jr., under 17.5 points, minus 115 on Bet365. Now, obviously, we come into this game. I still would like it at 16.5, as I always like all my picks, up or down 1. I like fading MPJ here, and I'll touch on the matchup even more. We said they are really good in spot-up shooters. Now, in terms of Aaron Gordon, I would love to see him out there because he obviously would be a big, another guy that can steal minutes from MPJ. But even with or without him, I'm not too concerned about it. MPJ is just not in a good spot here for him to score the basketball. And unless he gets hot from 3 on the road, I'm okay fading this man. Now, MPJ on the season has been very up and down, but his minutes kind of go with the health of this team. And as you can see, if you look at when everyone's healthy, we're talking Jamal Murray, we're talking Christian Brown, Russell Westbrook, Aaron Gordon. I didn't even include Nikola Jokic in here. Under in 16 of 26 games. Now, Aaron Gordon is obviously one of those guys in there where you're like, is he going to play or not? I don't know. He might not play. So let's just say in these games, let's say Aaron Gordon didn't play. 11 to 14, he does go towards the over, and he's been pretty consistent hitting that over. But again, he's faced a lot of good matchups in here that we're talking about. This is not a good matchup against the Celtics. Look at how he scores his points. Spot up shooting, where they rank 5th. Transition, where they rank 5th. Handoff, 9th. Free throws, even 3rd. I mean, he just doesn't get a lot of volume in matchups like this. And we've looked at MPJ. If you were to look at MPJ's game log, I meant to pull it. Oh, I just realized I'm not even showing my screen. My mistake, guys. If you look at MPJ without Aaron Gordon, he has pretty good numbers. If Aaron Gordon's in there, which I think he is, you see under in 16 to 26. My mistake, guys. Didn't mean to do that. But again, you look at MPJ, Michael Porter Jr. game log versus the Celtics, you're going to see a guy that has really struggled. Scored 15 points here earlier. That was a game that Jokic didn't even play in. This game last year, 9 points, 13, and he's even playing, a lot of minutes. He played 37 minutes, only shot 9 times here. 19, tipped the cap, but not a lot of good games in there against this team because of how he scores the basketball. Like I said, spot up, transition, handoffs, off screen. All these methods, really tough ways to score. Even against a Celtics team that is not 100% healthy, the scheme is still going to be the same. And MPJ is not really a guy that takes a lot of people off the dribble. So again, I just don't know if this is a really good spot for him. I think it's a great spot for Jokic and Jamal Murray for what it's worth to score the basketball. MPJ, I don't see him getting a ton of volume tonight. And honestly, if you were to pull up his numbers when he shoots, let's just, whatever, with the whole lineup, I just don't see him getting, a ton of shots. And when he shoots 15 or fewer times, he's under and over half the games. I think there's a chance he shoots, 12 or fewer under nearly every game. So I'll take my chances here. I just don't love the spot for MPJ. If Aaron Gordon doesn't play, he will have a tough matchup. He'll probably have to guard Tatum or Brown. I don't love that for him. And we could see maybe him lose some minutes to Russell Westbrook. Let's hope Aaron Gordon suits up. You'll probably know pretty quickly if Aaron Gordon's out there or not. I love his under in points tonight. My next play, third play of the day. We got another over. At the end of the video, I'll talk about a couple other guys, maybe some other games we didn't touch on. Picks that I looked at. If I was red hot recently, I'd probably add them to the card, but we've been cold, so I'll stick to my 4 today. Give me Tyler Herro, over 25.5 points, currently minus 110 on BetMGM, a 1-unit play, keeping it simple. Now, Herro and the Heat have a lot of guys banged up today, but most notably, obviously, Nikola Jokic has been out. Jaime Jaquez was recently, what did he twist his ankle? He hurt his ankle, I believe, in the last game. He was out, had to be helped off the floor, didn't come back. Andrew Wiggins is doubtful today. So if you look at their depth chart, I'll pull up the depth chart right now. We're looking at Tyler Herro, Davion Mitchell, a guy that really doesn't like to shoot the basketball. Andrew Wiggins likely out. Bam and Khalil Ware. Who's going to go into this spot? Last game it was Jaquez. Could it be Duncan Robinson? Maybe Alec Burks. I really don't think it's Terry Rozier. They don't really like him down there. Maybe Haywood Highsmith to get some more defense out there against the Knicks and Jalen Brunson. All I know is whoever's out there ain't barely shooting the basketball a ton. Now, obviously, Herro has been up and down this season. I mean, like any NBA player, but he's been pretty decent as of late outside of one pretty bad game. If you look at his numbers recently, back to PropsMadness, reminder code COS, 25% off. I mean, recently he's been pretty good, 40, 28. I mean, these are basically since the All-Star break, 28, 40. This game shoots 4 for 19, 24 points, 7 of 16. They won by 22 points. And then 29 here, 11 of 25, 3 for 10 from the three-point line. So the volume's been pretty good. And as I said in this matchup against the New York Knicks, how do the Knicks struggle to play defense? Against the ball handlers. They rank 30th. That's dead last against pick and roll ball handlers. That's where we're going to see Tyler Herro do majority of his damage. In transition, 23rd. Where they're really good is spot up free throws and stuff like that. But again, I just brought up their lineup. Whoever's coming into this lineup is Duncan Robinson. That's all he does is spot up shooting. So again, I don't see it being a great spot for him. I see probably Tyler Herro having to get the volume. And we've seen, in games when he gets the volume, you got to take your chance with a guy like this. And we're talking 15 or more shots over in 17 of 30, which I think is a lock tonight. I think he's probably locked into 18 over 19 of 29. And he's probably going to get closer to 20 plus shots tonight, over nearly 70% of games. I know it's not a volume play. It's a volume play plus a matchup play. The Knicks just aren't a great defensive team on the perimeter. We should see him bombs away from three. Didn't even bring up his last game against the Knicks. Head-to-head wise, faced him earlier this year. 34 points. This was with Jimmy Butler. Helps when you make 8 threes, but again, the volume's going to be there. Let's hope he knocks down his shots, shoots a little bit better percentage at home. I really like Tyler Herro's over in points tonight, 25.5. I think it's a great play. Let's hope the Heat can keep it close. If they can't, it's probably because Herro's stinging it up, though, so it's not a big deal. My final play of the day, fourth and final, then we'll dive into maybe one or two others that I looked at. Don't want to pull the trigger on it. It's going to be another under, and I almost made this a 1.5 unit play as well to match Jokic. I didn't really want to do that and force more units on the board. I'll happily take a 1 unit winner at this rate. That's Bol Bol under 15.5 points, minus 125 on DraftKings. Obviously, he plays for the Suns, a 1 unit play. I love Bol Bol. Obviously, he's fun. He's tall as hell out there. But man, this is not a good spot for him. And if you've been fading Bol Bol recently, you've been kind of getting cooked. But tough spot here. Now, we could see the return of Bradley Beal tonight. I'm not anticipating Bradley Beal being out there. What I do know is Booker and Durant right now are in. I would love for both of those guys to play. That would be ideal, but you never know in the NBA. But I like fading Bol Bol. He's coming off a couple great games recently, but again, his minutes aren't consistent, and he's in a bad matchup, and what I say is a bad matchup against the Timberwolves. Now, they are playing at home. I wish he was on the road here. I would fade him. I'd probably put a 1.5 units if it was on the road. But again, you look at the matchup here. Let's talk about Bol Bol, who faces the Timberwolves. Now, obviously, if you're looking at hit rate, under in 2024, we don't want to count games that he's barely playing. But let's get Kevin Durant and Booker up and moving. And let's say Bol Bol's actually getting minutes. I don't want to give out games where he's not playing. So let's say he at least gets 20 minutes, which is probably what he's going to play tonight. You might be like, Austin, what the hell are we doing? Why are we fading this guy? He's a beast. 18, 23, 15, and 25 points. Why are we taking the under? We should be taking the over. Yeah, I'm sorry to tell you, but these teams don't play defense. The Grizzlies don't play defense. They give up 10. He shot 10 threes against them. This game, he got a lot of easy mid-range looks because he had Zach Edey on him. So he was just rolling to the hoop. Wide open looks. 15 against the Pelicans. 25 here. Again, made 5 threes. Yeah, he played easy matchups. Now, this matchup is not as easy. Spot up shooting, where he scores majority of his points. I just showed you. He made 5 threes in this game. They rank 3rd. Timberwolves a very good spot up defense. Transition, they're near a top 10 defense. Sure, they won't have Rudy Gobert tonight. They might see the return of this fella, Julius Randle. He might be active. But at the end of the day, what the Timberwolves defense is, it's these two guys, Ant-Man and Jaden McDaniels. They are going to live with Devin Booker and Kevin Durant making contested shots over these two guys. They stay home on shooters. They make those guys beat them from deep. A Bol Bol, I just don't see him getting a ton of opportunities. If you look at his 3-point prop, 1.5. If you go to 3+ threes, we're looking at a prop that's like plus 230 on FanDuel. So I just don't see him knocking down a ton of threes tonight. I think this is a very tough spot for him to score the basketball. He obviously could get some open looks, but that spot up number is really telling that and these teams, if you were to say, awesome, what about those teams? Where do they rank spot up wise? They're 24th, the Grizzlies, and they're 27th. So again, polar opposite matchups here. If he gets lucky and gets it going, sure. But again, with Bradley Beal maybe returning tonight, Grayson Allen in there, Royce O'Neal, I feel like those guys are better suited for this matchup than a guy like Bol Bol. I love Bol Bol. Great story. Obviously, still trying to find kind of his footing. Maybe he's found it in Phoenix. Hate this matchup for him. I'll take the under 15.5 points. I think it's too high. This is my second favorite play of the day. But I'm only putting 1 unit on it because, well, I don't really want to force even more out there when we've already, lost a lot of units the last, week, 10 days. I'd rather just stick to one unit here, but I really, really like this one. Fourth play of the day. So to recap the card before we go into a couple other things, Jokic, best bet of the day, over in points. MPJ under in points. Herro over in points. Bol Bol under in points. I feel like points have been our best market all season long outside of 3-pointers. I'll stick to these plays. Now, I want to touch on a couple other plays that I looked at. Ended up not pulling the trigger, but these are ones that kept my eye. We'll begin, and obviously we're back on PropsMadness. Reminder, use code COS when you sign up. We'll just begin with this fella. Fine, I guess I'll go down to the corner. Jason Tatum. I'm not going to involve another play here. I kind of like his under in points. And that might make me look like an idiot when you're watching this. But if I'm the Nuggets in this game, what I'm doing is Tatum, obviously, we know he's just scored 46. But how did he do that? Shot 37 times. Fine. What did he do? He just got a switch onto the center, which was Jared Allen, or a weaker defender for the Nuggets or for the Cavaliers in that game. I don't see, what I see the Celtics doing in this game, we're going to call Jokic, say, hey, Jokic, you come up here. Horford, come up, set a screen, get Jokic onto Tatum. The problem is the Nuggets ain't going to do that. They aren't going to let that fly. So you should see some traps come Tatum's way, and I would expect him to dish it off, probably to Al Horford, who probably straps 3 threes today to piss me off because it took us over in the last game. He did nothing. I think he's going to have to drop it off to Horford, who's going to have to do something with the basketball. And they'll live with that on the back end. Make Al Horford beat you. That's honestly how I feel like. If I'm the Nuggets, that's how I attack this game. I don't want Tatum to beat me. I want Jaylen Brown. I want Al Horford to get it at the top of the key in the mid-range and go try to score down low on Michael Porter Jr. down there. I think I'd live with that instead of making Tatum go one-on-one on Jason Tatum, on Nikola Jokic. In terms of other games, this is the pick I really looked hard at. Luka Doncic over in points. I get it. He hasn't been too great recently, but scored 31 against the Clippers. Didn't shoot well. Our only reason I'm not taking is because I actually, on Friday when they played, I actually was really like this one. I just didn't end up adding it to the card. Of course, it hit. I know if I were to add it today, he's going to end with 25 points and shoot like 30%. But I do like that one. They just ran a lot of switching on the Zubac, and he got a lot of open looks. He just didn't make them. In terms of any other games that I looked at, I know a lot of people are going to be on Evan Mobley. His line's kind of moving and grooving a little bit too high for me, but has played pretty well without Donovan Mitchell. I think that's a pretty solid look. Don't mind fading Anthony Simons once again. And then the other games, I kind of like fading Fox or Chris Paul on back-to-backs. Those guys I feel like just aren't locked in facing OKC. Have fun. This Pelicans game, Jazz, no, I'm kind of out. Like Collier, but not going to really get involved there. Toronto, Orlando, count me out. Chicago, Indiana, I really don't have a lot of interest in. So I really like the 4 picks today. I really think we got a good chance of having a big day. We are certainly overdue for a 4-0 sweep. I love all 4 plays today. Let's dominate the board. Let's finally get some momentum going. And if we go 4-0, I'll wear this shirt for the next week. I mean, we'll do anything at this point. We have just been unlucky. If I lose a play, if I lose 2 plays on the hook today, I might crash out tomorrow. Although I've hit the dead inside portion where I'm just like, what the hell is that? I'm used to it. I'm numb to the pain. Either way, have a great Sunday. Thanks for tuning in. It's Austin signing out. See you in the next one. Peace.